everybody. How's everybody doing? I don't know what quite happened on the last video that I was trying to do for Basketball Wives, but I'm gonna title this one part 2, and then I'm gonna go back and revise the other title to the earlier video and put part 1. But I think where I had ended off on the first video was discussing how Cece was telling everybody, you know, how, or the reason why she really doesn't want to work things out with Kristen, and how she thinks it's just, you know, it's a wrap, there's nothing else left to do, they just gonna, you know, just continue either beefing or just not get along, period. So now, what I also wanted to talk about was how Kristen, you know, remember she had told us about a couple of weeks ago how she had arranged a dinner with her husband Thomas's dad Byron, and how he had skipped out on the dinner and instead he had went to a baseball game. We remember how she was talking about that, right? Well, Byron, I guess he didn't like what she had to say about that. So he went on to his social media and on Twitter and he clapped back. And basically what he was saying was, you know, a couple of weeks back when Kristen had, you know, on the episode had said that she had invited him to dinner and that he said he was coming, but then he didn't show up because of a baseball game, and how her and her husband Thomas was kind of upset, and you could see on the show they were upset because they said he didn't come. He instead wanted to be, you know, at a baseball game instead of with them. So he was saying on his social media that that was not true, that he was never invited to their home for dinner, and that he had already spoken to his son Thomas and made arrangements to have dinner together with him by themselves, you know, a total separate, you know, event, total separate dinner. So he was like, I don't know why her and him, my son and his wife, would get on the show and portray like as if they had invited him to dinner and he just didn't show up. So I'm like, is that really what happened, Kristen? We got answers. I mean, we got questions and we need answers. So hopefully, you know, I don't know if Kristen's gonna respond to that on the TV show, but I really wish she would, because that would make her and Thomas seem like that whole scene was a whole lie, that it was concocted to make Byron look even worse than what they're already trying to make him seem, like the grandpa who doesn't want to have anything to do with his grandchildren. So, you know, hey, Kristen, we got questions. But anyway, so after that, Kristen, you know, he said what he had to say on the TV show, on his Twitter, and I'm like, I don't know, that makes me look at Kristen a little bit differently, because all this time we've been, you know, kind of in her corner, like, okay, they need to work things out, her and Cece need to work things out. But after hearing this from Byron, and also hearing what Kristen had to say about Cece, how she's been there for her, you know, over the years, but how Cece always shaded her and always talked about her and called her names and all this kind of stuff before they even started, you know, working on this television show, I thought that was kind of crazy. I thought that was really kind of crazy. But anywho, y'all, another thing that I wanted to talk about before my last live abruptly started messing up or whatever, I was like, on that scene when Evelyn, oh my god, okay, I was so surprised by Cece's behavior, and I was also surprised by Evelyn's behavior. Like, first of all, when Cece tried to get up and leave, when she tried to catch a plane back to the United States because she didn't want to be bothered with them ladies anymore, she didn't want to be bothered with them talking about what OG has said about Byron not being Thomas's father, and you know, she now got much to say about Evelyn, and so she was calling her names, calling her an instigator, dangerous, hood rat, not classy, mean, aggressive. She was calling her all kind of names, and Phoebe was like one of the main ones saying, don't do that, don't say that about her, don't say that about Evelyn. I think they were trying to like warn her, like, okay, you're going a little bit too far, Cece, you don't know who you dealing with right now. Cece just kept going on, well, she is, and she is, and she is this, and she is that, and Malaysia was like, oh, she's classy, Cece was like, no, you're classy, she's a hood rat. So anyway, of course it got back to them, and Shawnee and Evelyn, they were discussing it. They were like, oh yeah, you know, you should approach her about that or confront her about that at dinner tonight. Ev was like, yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna approach her. So when she sat down, and it was like she immediately jumped right into it. She was like, well, Cece, I heard there's a lot of stuff you got to say about me, and I would like you to keep that same energy. Cece did not only keep that same energy, but she had more energy than she even had the night before. I don't know where that came from. I don't know if it was the pep talk that Shawnee gave her, telling her, you got to stop running away from situations. If people confront you about a topic, you have to stay there. You have to say what you got to say, listen to them, clap back if you have to, but you cannot continue walking away or running away from a situation, because that don't resolve anything. So what did she do? Evelyn was like, keep that same energy you had last night. And man, Cece had so much energy, I was shocked. I was like, where did Cece been? All this time people been going at her since what, last season? People been going at her, coming at her left and right. And now we got this Cece. Man, she shut Evelyn up. I was like, okay, hold up, wait a minute. She was like, you are an instigator, you are mean, you are evil, you are this, you all that, and you're a bitch. I was like, okay, Evelyn's about to come across that table. She's about to throw some drinks on Cece. You know, but what happened was, she said her little words, and she's called her a bitch and said, you a bitch. And then Cece was like, that's your favorite word. And Cece was just sitting there all calm and cool, collective. And Evelyn stood up. She was like, no, you're a bitch. And Cece said something to the effect of, that's your favorite word, or that's something you always like to say. And then Evelyn went playground on her. She went grade school on her, talking about, well, you called me that first. I was dead. I was like, Evelyn, is this the best you can do? I mean, I'm not going to call Evelyn a hood rat. I'm not going to confirm that and say I think she's a hood rat. Now, she can be ghetto, and she has over the past been a bully. She has been a bully. We cannot deny that fact. So I was kind of like on Cece's side. I was kind of egging her like, okay, go Cece, go Cece, go. Evelyn, she stood up and everything, and normally, you know, that might work on some newbies, you know, her trying to intimidate people. She stood up and rose up on the table and tried to, you know, wave her head and her fingers and all this kind of stuff. And Cece just sat there like, and I said it, you are a bitch, and what you gonna do about it? I'm like, Shawnee, you should have talked to her a long time ago. You should have talked to Cece a long time ago about her running away from arguments and running away from fights and confrontations, because this, I ain't never seen this Cece before. This was interesting. This was interesting. I'm like, I cannot wait till the next episode to find out how it's all gonna play out. But like, next episode, everybody's gonna get into it. But this episode, my favorite scene was that scene when Cece was up there just going off on Evelyn. I mean, she found her spine. She found her spine. She got balls. She grew some balls. I was like, okay, go ahead, Cece. Now, if she can use this same energy and use it with Kristen, I think it might work. That they might end up having some kind of communication, some kind of open relationship, and hopefully, you know, the family thing and everything will work out. Because like Malaysia said, we're all family, regardless if somebody's is married in, regardless if you're the fiance, regardless if he's the son but not no DNA because that's his stepfather, he adopted him. We're all family, and they all have to eventually learn to, how does people say it, you don't always have to get along to go along, you know what I mean? Like, they have grandchildren through Kristen and Thomas, and the grandchildren, I'm sure, want to spend time with their grandparents. And when the holidays and everything come around, you know, the weddings and all that kind of stuff, Malaysia just wants everybody to at least get along to go along. So I'm hoping that, you know, Eventually that will happen, but in the meantime and in between time, Evelyn, I think you need to stay out of their business because Cece was not playing with you. And Evelyn, I still can't get over that. When she went grade school, talking about you called me that first. I'm like, has Evelyn lost her touch? I don't know, y'all. Y'all let me know what y'all think. The situation with Phoebe, it was just odd because Phoebe, you know, the new chick, she went ham on she went ham on Jackie, and I was shocked and appalled that Jackie didn't clap back. Some people was like, oh, I'm so proud of you, Jackie. You just so mature now, and you didn't stoop down to her level, and Phoebe's this and that, and you know, you're grown about your ish and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, I don't think it's necessarily that. Maybe Jackie wasn't ready and she wasn't prepared for this young woman to clap at her like that. So she was like, take your little candle, you keep your little candle, take that thing back to the US of A, get you a refund, do whatever you want, but I do not want your little candle. So Jackie, I don't know, it's like, Jackie, you done lost your touch? Or you just tired of people being upset with you because you stirring up all kind of mess? Maybe that's it. Maybe that's it. And again, Jackie needs to get some more credible resources, some credible sources, because the stuff that happened with Malaysia and the press, and then how Jackie the next day, all of a sudden, oh yeah, I got really reliable, credible sources that's saying that Phoebe is a crackhead. She's a full-blown crackhead, and she's a molly popper, and Evelyn was like, I don't think so. I really don't think, because her and Phoebe hang out the most. So she's like, I don't think so. I know every now and then she smokes a little green, every now and then, and she drinks and all that. Yeah, as you can see, she was so white girl wasted when she went off on Jackie, and then woke up the next day like, I said, what to who? I said, who to what? What had happened was. But yeah, she had I don't know, but I think that's messed up. If Jackie is making this whole story up like we believe she did with Malaysia about her being a bad mom and all that kind of stuff, I'm like, either your sources are just really horribly unreliable, or Jackie, you making this stuff up. So maybe that's why she didn't clap back at Phoebe. Maybe she's like, let me just shut my mouth. But then the next day, it was like, okay. So it just was a coincidence. The next day after Phoebe read you your rights, read you up and down. Now, oh yeah, I found out that she's a crackhead and she popped mollies. So anyway, I'm looking forward to the next episode. For y'all who missed my first live part 1, I'm gonna retitle that and repost it because I don't know what happened. The internet, the screen had froze, and I didn't even know it had froze, and I was still talking, and then the live had ended and I was still talking. I don't know what happened, but anyway, this is gonna be titled part 2 to my earlier live, and then I'll title the part 1 of Basketball Wives review. Okay, so anyway, you guys, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you put in the comment sections how you feel about anything that happened with these ladies, about Phoebe going off on Jackie, about Jackie now talking about she's on drugs, about how Evelyn got she got read by Phoebe. Did I say that already? No, by Cece. And oh yeah, OG, please help me understand why OG and Cece act like they don't understand why the ladies keep bringing up that incident at Evelyn's event about OG saying, well, that ain't even Byron's son. And they like, why are you guys still talking about that? Like, okay, they just gonna pretend like OG didn't throw that out maliciously. We just gonna pretend. But anyway, y'all, make sure y'all hit the like button. Make sure y'all share the video. Make sure y'all subscribe if you are not already subscribed to my channel. And I will see y'all later on this evening. I don't know what I'm going to review yet. It's either going to be Black Ink or Queen Sugar. I'm not Queen Sugar or Green Leaf, or I don't know. But I'll be back tonight, later on tonight, you guys. So I'm about to get out of here. I got a jet. I got to get to work, do these little old hours, and then I'll be back with y'all later this evening. So in the meantime and in between time, as usual, Prime Time Squad, stay safe, be blessed, and I'm out. Deuces.